In LeBron's mind, no. I think in LeBron's mind, his rival is Michael Jordan. I think in competitive basketball sense, hell yes, there is rival. And Draymond Green certainly thinks so. And Draymond Green delivered that shoulder-to-shoulder hit intentionally. I think it's really the only thing the NBA's got going is the rivalry between these two teams. And so, LeBron may be mentally in a place where I'm above everybody else.
I think he is.
But this is a rivalry.
I think he is. Now he could be wrong.
Yeah.
But Facebook doesn't consider Google its rival. It considers its rival the government. It doesn't want to be broken up. It owns the internet. So Facebook doesn't look at the other, Googles and Apples. I think LeBron sees himself chasing history. Partly we're to blame for that because, the minute he wins titles, we say we're not 6 for 6. But now again, he could be wrong, but I think the gap between LeBron and the second best player, now that we've watched Steph in the finals, I think it's really wide. And I don't think he sees Golden State or any other player in his galaxy.
Well, I think you're right with players, but obviously this is a rivalry, the Warriors and the Cavs. And the difference is this. With San Antonio, he met them 3 times in the finals. They didn't have any other compelling players off the court like LeBron. Now, Tim Duncan, first time they played, the Cavs were terrible. That wasn't a good matchup. The second time and third time in Miami, Duncan was toward the end of his career, so that didn't match up. Now you've got with Steph Curry, a player who not only last year, let's face it, he snatched the face of the league from LeBron. Yep. LeBron snatched it back in the finals, but last year that was a legitimate rivalry. And still, even with Durant being the Warriors' best player, I would say that Steph is probably the second face of the league behind LeBron. So I do think this is more of a legitimate rivalry, not just basketball-wise, but, in terms of personalities.
I mean, Whitlock's definitely onto something. This is the only thing happening in the NBA. You can't talk about Harden Westbrook online. It doesn't move the meter like Cavs Warriors.
Triple-doubles getting old.
No, it's just not happening. I mean, it's all about Warriors Cavs. And listen, the NBA has great rivalries in the past. Lakers-Celtics, legendary. This is the new Lakers-Celtics. Yeah. Here's a stat for you guys. Never before in NBA history has there been 3 straight same matchup in the finals. And we're going to see it, Cavs-Warriors in the finals.
Never in the before. 3 major sports, football, baseball included, not since the 1920s have 2 teams met 3 straight years.
One of the things that the NBA, I felt, has always had going for it is what college football has, these sustained rivalries. In college football, it's because of the geography. Auburn, Alabama are always going to be rivals. NFL doesn't have them because it's hard to maintain outside of New England greatness. Baseball, again, your pitching staff. It's hard to be great. Even the St. Louis Cardinals don't make the playoffs. But in the NBA, if you've got 2 or 3 great players, you're good for a decade. I mean, the Lakers you knew with Magic as a rookie. All right, see you for your 12 years. The NBA has, outside of college football, generally really good personal and team rivalries. I do think there is an issue, though, is that Durant hasn't lived up to his end of the deal. For about 4 years, he was the league's second best player. He never won. So I do believe there's a gap in this sport right now.
He still is right now. You would say, right?
But I would say there's a. I grew up with rivalries in the NBA. I think there's one now.
I want to push back a little bit against your narrative there. The NBA has made it totally about the individual players and not the teams. So the NFL may not have rivalries, but they have great teams, great franchises. The NBA doesn't have that. And I think that's what's missing here in terms. LeBron individually is so far above everyone else.
So, but could I make the argument with the Lakers down, the Knicks down, Philadelphia down, the big markets?
Celtics.
Yeah, like the rivalries now aren't about teams.
It's about individuals.
It's about individuals.
Like you said, that's how David Stern grew the sport. He made it about individuals. So even if the team is bad, there's an individual on that team you want to go see. The Clippers aren't really doing anything, but I want to see Chris Paul.
It's a bad strategy, though. It's not as effective.
How's it bad?
It's not as effective as the NFL.
It's blowing the league through the roof.
Another network paid $1 billion, and it's hurting right now.
But I would argue this. I will, yes, initially.
What the NBA used to be before David Stern took over in the early 80s?
There is a downside to that, though. I agree. The NFL's about the shield. So the NBA took kind of a dead league, made it about the stars, elevated it. The problem with that, though, is that when Jordan left, nobody liked the next batch of stars.
Well, Jordan never had a rival.
But my point is,
never had a rival.
when you're beholden
Individual.
to stars like boxing, Ali retires. Who's your next likable
We got
star?
a ton of stars in the league.
I
haven't
find-
done
I think
anything.
Steph, the problem
We
is
gotta
this.
go. We gotta go. I'm sorry, Chris.
Steph is there.
Thanks, Chris. Check out Chris's new podcast, In the Zone. It's available on iTunes and all your favorite podcast platforms.